thought I could. Okay. Hello, everyone. So, I made like a little intro video on YouTube. If you haven't watched it yet, please do check it out. It's like a very short introduction to the game and the channel and everything. Just going over more or less what I want to accomplish with this. So, yeah, today I really want to do some planning. I think this is very like boring. The planning part is always like a little bit annoying, tedious. And I think it'll be a little bit more interesting um, once we get to like modeling and things like that. Like I said, I've done some like basic modeling things with Blender, and I do think it'll be pretty cool uh, to 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 do some more modeling. So um, I want to go over just like a few things first, and then I'm gonna start to arrange things that I want to do today. I did end up deciding the name. I do think I'm gonna go with We Fall. Um, I think it's really like, so the idea I have is basically when you end the game, you'll say like, or the screen will say something like "We fall" and then "We rise." So maybe it's "We fall," maybe it's "We rise." I don't know, but I think at this point, I really like "We fall" because it'll be like, I want it to be a little bit more difficult of a game. So yeah, maybe "We fall" is better because it'll like basically not emphasize, but it'll basically say like it's okay, you will fall, you will fail, or whatever, you know. Yeah. So sorry, okay. So we'll go with We Fall. I think this one is kind of like first choice at the moment. We'll see. And we'll make a note inside just saying maybe we change it to We Rise. But I think We Fall. I like We Fall. Okay. Um, so I want to add a list. Um, so I want to do this just for my own, not sanity, but so I can track basically what I want to do. Um, so I called it in everything I said encampments. I called it encampments. I don't want to call it that because I feel like it makes a little bit more sense saying outposts. So we're gonna change everything to outposts. Yeah, we'll probably change like language stuff around a lot until we figure out what it is we want to do. Sorry. So we said outposts, specializations. I will get more into this like what it is, what I actually want to do with that. We'll do resources first, and then I also said buildings. We don't have anything for that yet. And I'm gonna make a list for that. Maybe we'll make it here. So let me explain sort of what actually, yeah, this is unnecessary. Okay. So basically, what I want to do with this, so the features master list is a long list of so I said features, but things. So for instance, like the resources, we'll populate this. Like for instance, animals. I think I did say things here, yeah. So it's like these are the types of animals that will exist in the game and what resources can be gathered from them. So it gives me an idea. It gives me an idea. Thank you for the follow. um, this gives me an idea of uh, the animals that I will need to model, first of all, and then also gives me a little bit of planning in terms of resources that will be gathered from them. So, for example, we have the deer, like deer, bear, wolves, chickens, cows, sheep, bees. Um, in each of these cards, I want to outline everything that's inside of them and also what I could get from them. Later on, maybe to simplify it when I'm actually starting with the development, I'll maybe make a uh, different like layouts of information so I can see it better with it'll represent it better to me like with whatever it is I'm busy at the time. So if I'm doing modeling, I don't care what resources we gather from them. I just care what I need to model. When I'm actually doing the game development, um, I would like to know what I need to get from them. So yeah. So that's the idea with these, so I can come back to them. So I guess other than that, maybe like small catch-up things. I did go over the content plan. We did the name, the intro, the lore. I'm gonna have a dedicated like time that we're gonna like go over the lore, maybe brainstorm a little bit um, with lore, because I do want to kind of write a full lore for the um, for the game, and then make certain things like available uh, via like maybe like a book or a note or something, you know. Okay. Um, then also the characters, I did go over, or I did actually not cover these yet. The idea I have with the characters is to, for you as a player, you select a character, like a, it's like a class type, and depending on what you select, you'll have different like buffs or things in the early and late game. I think this will add to replayability because maybe you want to do a full playthrough with like an engineer, and um, so none of this is planned yet, but like something maybe off the top of my head. I think we have a doctor. Yeah, we have an engineer, we have a mechanic, we have a doctor, programmer, teacher, entrepreneur, someone who was homeless, an artist, CEO, construction worker, plumber, chef, accountant. So, for example, let's say uh, like a doctor, for instance, right? I need to say these descriptions I have, like I used uh, ChatGPT as a like not a trampoline. What's like a mind board basically, because they have this new feature where you can like write on the side and you can also ask it. So getting like a sort of lore, and most likely we'll rewrite all of this lore to actually fit with our bigger like story, but just as sort of a like a jump off point. So for example, let's say you have a doctor in the early game. Maybe we can have a buff where the doctor, yeah, maybe he when if you get infected, you are like have a chance to just like maybe it'll just heal itself, or uh like medicine crafting is cheaper, something like this. This is something that's in my mind. And then later, maybe because you'll be building like hospitals and things like that, you'll be very your hospitals and things will be very efficient. So maybe we can add like a 20-30% like in efficiency buff, something like this. Um, yeah. Then I think that's about it. I did go over all of these. You guys can watch like the first VOD. It's basically going over the overview of the entire game, like mechanics and things. And then also the development plan that I have. And then there was the content plan, yeah. So yeah, I think that's like the catch up. So let's actually start with like maybe the resources. So first of all, can we make this bigger? No. Okay. That's that's a strange decision. Okay. So that's fine. Resources. So first, I guess we can just think about like how we would play the game, and then we'll kind of get resources from there. So first of all, we would obviously have grass. I will add them to categories later on, I think, just to make it easier. Let's make a list. Grass, wood, leaves, maybe, if we can find a use for them. I think when we go later on, we might remove some of them or add other ones. Just yeah, we'll see. Wood, leaves, uh, grass. Then we'll get to like feathers, if we're gonna craft like arrows or whatever. Um, maybe we'll add to that. Then we go ores. I don't really know what to call these specifically. Like, I guess like plant matter? Question mark. These will be animals, things from animals. So we'll be feathers. Um, okay, the feathers, meat, uh, hide, um, bones, eggs. So this is actually this is something a little important. I want farms like uh like plant farms. Which I don't know. Plant farms like with crops, and then I want animal farms. So I want you to be able to farm with animals. So for example, like your chickens can actually you don't just have chickens to kill them. You can actually get eggs from them, and then you can kill them to get meat or whatever. Similar with cows. I want cows to not just be there for meat and hide. I want like you should be able to get like milk from them as well. And then here I do want to make a distinguishment between beef, chicken, pork. This is for recipes later on. Um, yeah, I'm like a foodie person, so I like I cook a lot of different things. So I do want to add like a variety in the things you can cook. I think that would be pretty cool. Then yeah, so we have feathers. Let's actually I want to move this down because I feel like yeah. We have bones. Uh, what else? I think we'll add to it if we think of something else. Okay, ores, iron, um, gold, lead. What was that ore? Hmm, see, we'll do ores, but then also there's another category. I don't know what to call it. It's basically like uh, we'll just do other for now, and I want to say like sand, stone. Mm, yeah. Okay. So I want to see whenever you let's see how you actually create like actual gunpowder. Or I don't know if I should like look that up. Um, yeah, okay. So we have iron, gold, lead. Maybe from wood we can get like coal. Burnt wood we can get like charcoal, coal. We can do coal as well. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Outposts. So outposts, I want it to be a set size, something where you can just go to clear the outpost because I want the zombies or bandits, either zombies or bandits to be there. That you need to clear out first, and then maybe at every encampment you will have at least one NPC that you will rescue, which will then occupy the outpost. So I'm gonna stop saying encampment now. Um, all right. So then with the encampment, I want your NPC to actually um, occupy it, but you need to build them a bed and some walls at least, so they can like feel safe. Yeah, okay. And maybe you should arm them too. So let's say, just to give an idea, outposts should be cleared, or let's say outpost will be occupied by bandits or overrun by zombies. You will the player will need to clear the outpost first and save the NPC. Actually, before this, I want to emphasize that the outpost will have at least one NPC who has been captured or is hiding. The player will need to clear the outpost first and save the NPC. Now, I think I want encampments to be, you should be able, or the player should be able to set the encampments, or the, I need to stop saying encampment though. The player should be able to set the resources that the outpost gathers. Okay. Whoa. Encampment. The outpost should, uh, the outpost will produce resources passively, although slower than normal, slower than manual gathering. Um, let's word it a little differently, because I want to say the outpost will produce resources passively and it won't consume the resources in the area. And as a trade-off, it will produce resources much slower, but infinitely. Okay, so the outpost will produce resources passively. Resources will not be consumed from the area. And to compensate for this, the resources will be gathered much slower than manual, I guess. Okay. So that's like our summary of what an outpost is. The overview. Okay. Now we need to think about what should be inside of the outposts, things that are in there. Objects inside the outposts. Right. So I think I will try not to duplicate things across cards. So for example, if we have a bed in the outpost, we might not add a bed in the like buildings, like base building card as well. Or we can make a distinction between the two where you will build an outpost bed which won't be as good or nice looking as one that you build in your base. Maybe we can do something like that. So this way we can actually have objects, we can create objects that look relevant to the outpost or the card we're busy with. For example, an outpost bed might look different from the building bed. Okay. So we will definitely have a bed. We will have walls. Maybe the walls will have barbed wire, but I'm not going to put that. We'll add it when we actually model this. So we have bed, walls, obviously some crates, broken crates. Any kind of supplies, but I would like to add a card for supplies because we will be adding the like supplies that you can find to this card. So I will refer to this one. So we're gonna do this. That's not updating it. Wait. Guys. Okay, that's fine. We'll add it manually then. Meaning if we click on this, yeah, okay. So we have supplies. Obviously we'll have like zombies, maybe a lantern, broken lantern. And I think as we go, these will be decorative, and we will make these will also obviously be available throughout the entire game. So this is just for us to like plan what we'll create. Lantern, broken lantern, maybe a desk, maybe some papers, a plant would be cool. Any kind of plants. Chair, table. Maybe desk won't be there. Maybe, but okay. Table. Maybe instead of a lantern, like just a normal desk light. Computer, maybe. I would also like for all of these, you see these will actually also, if we break them down, we can add whatever they will give you to resources, and we can continue filling in this list. So for example, if we were to break down a bed, maybe we can get fiber. Is it like this? Alternate spellings of the same word. Okay. So it's the same. Fiber is American and fiber is British. Okay. We'll stick to this one for now. Um, I do think that I will be writing like using American English. I feel like most people are used to that in video games. I don't think we should be um, switching to British. Okay. Fiber. If we break down walls, we'll get like stone or sand. Crates, we get wood. We have wood. Crates, wood. Supplies. So supplies, we should be able to get medical things too, right? So maybe we'll get uh like bandage. Yeah, is bandage, yeah, bandage, like a first aid kit. What else? Like, mm, maybe we'll do like aloe vera because it could be used for something. Um, Antibiotics, vitamins. Yeah, okay. So if we were to break down a lantern, we'll get, maybe we'll get some iron, right? And then if we break down a desk, we'll get wood and maybe screws, or if it's iron, like iron. I feel like we should break it down into a basic resource whenever you're breaking stuff down and you're not getting like composite things, like for example a screw that's like one step further. I think you should just get the basic resources. um Paper, yeah, I actually think like paper should just be its own thing. Maybe plastic as well. um okay. Plants, well, yeah, we have some plant matter. Chair could be wood, plastic. Um, I guess it depends on what chair. Maybe we can give like leather. Mm, but again, I think maybe because leather would be processed hide. So we'll, yeah. Desk light, electronic parts maybe would be pretty good. Um, I actually want to add a layer to this, to not just call it electronic parts, but to call it, like, for instance, uh, wire. We'll have wire, we'll have like a like board or a yeah, transistor, capacitor, things. Maybe I want to break it down, but I feel like it could just be a little too much, could become tedious to craft very basic things. So maybe we keep it like this. Same with the mechanical parts. I don't want to make it too complex. I feel like I feel like this is a little too close to like 7 days and shit, you know? I don't know. We'll see. Um, yeah, so I think what else? In an outpost, what can we get? Maybe you can get blueprints, like early blueprints. I did say that I don't want to specifically make blueprints too overpowered. I wanted to give you like a slight, maybe a different way to do something instead of outright giving you like extra research or whatever. Okay. I just want to change something here. Okay. Okay. And then I just want to update this so we can get rid of encampments. And we just use outposts. Okay. So for the outposts, these outposts can have the outpost can have specializations. So specializations I want to be basically like you can say that this outpost will specialize in gathering food. Sorry. So you can see how like scatterbrain I basically like and then like one thing will just immediately jump to another thought, and that's what I was just thinking here, like plant matter, right? We can go like berries, like maybe we'll do like blueberries, cranberries, strawberries, apples, grapes, corn, um, mushrooms, uh, what else? Mushrooms, uh, yeah, I will jump back to this most likely in a little bit. So specializations, I want these to be like, oh, they only gather food, or this outpost only gathers food. This outpost only gathers iron or lead or whatever. And basically, the idea with this is to give the player the opportunity to generate whatever is most important to them at the time, passively generate whatever is most important to them at that given like time. So for example, let's say you're in your early game and food isn't a problem for you. Maybe you're playing a character that's food consumption is pretty good. Like maybe they have an early game buff, so food isn't that important for you. Or you just happen to spawn in an area that's like very food heavy. So you don't need to worry about it that much. In this case, you will most likely put the outpost on like gathering iron for you or wood or something else. Um, I like this idea, and I want you to be able to change your outpost to anything you want, but I don't, yeah, I want you to be able to change your outpost at any time, but specializations will basically be random for the outpost. So, for example, an outpost can spawn with a specialization or a maybe we'll call it something else, but basically the idea is that it spawns with some modifier to some resource. For example, this outpost is a lumber outpost, and it's actually much better at gathering wood than it is at doing anything else. So we will be adding certain uh actually yeah, see this is the scatter. It's actually amazing how it works. So we will be adding like a lumber, uh, like an axe, uh, some dedicated spot to like chopping wood, like a chopping block for wood. I don't know. uh, yeah, and then if you're like a mining encampment, you'll have like a pickaxe lying around, maybe broken pickaxes. Uh, I don't know, like maybe some bags with resources, like with gold and silver or iron falling out of them. I don't know, something to give it some class, some personality. So, for example, your specializations will say, "Oh, this used to be like maybe a good lumber outpost." So you will have 20% increased wood gathering, but you'll have a 20% debuff in any other resource that you assign to it. So you can assign it to anything you want or need at the time, but there will be a slight debuff to it, and there will be a buff to if there's something you want to, there will be a buff to whatever it spawns with. So, specializations. I want to do a lumber camp. I want to do a mining outpost. Um, Maybe we can add. I want something with food, and I don't know what you would call that. For now, we'll just call it a food outpost. But something that produces food for you, or at least gathers food for you. So maybe we can do a, a food gathering outpost. Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking like a restaurant outpost, but that wouldn't get a restaurant outpost. But that wouldn't work because we are basically taking primary resources that you can pick up from the ground and just collecting it automatically. So food would entail anything that you can get from the ground, like berries, mushrooms, things like this, basically like farmable, like food, not processing something. Maybe we can add like a tier 2 specializations where basically it would be tier 1 resources, like primary resources like wood, plants, berries, fucking, I don't know, something else, like food. And then we'll have like a next tier, like smelting outpost where it will take the primary resource and it will give you something else, but it won't gather the primary resource as well. You will need to give it the primary resources. I think that could be good and that could introduce some things because I did mention I want to implement logistics where it would need to be transported between the camps and you will need to provide security for those transports, or you can just YOLO it and yeah, basically like Jesus take the wheel, right? And hope that your shit comes out on the other side. I don't know. So maybe we'll do a lumber camp, we'll do a mining outpost, but see now I want to split these into tiers. We'll have tier 1. You see, this is actually, yeah, tier 1. So we'll call it like primary resource generation or tier 1 resource generation. I don't know. Primary seems better. Um, sorry, I'm getting a call. I'm not sure from who this is. Okay. Tier 1, so it's primary resource generation. So it's like wood, plant matter, mining outpost, food outpost. I'm sure I will think of things that we can add here. So this is primary resource in, secondary resource out. I feel like I should put like a note here for myself because I feel like I might forget what this is. So this means that the outpost will only produce a primary, or raw is actually a good word for this. A raw resource that you can pick up or mine yourself. That is any unprocessed resource. That makes a lot of sense. Now, secondary would mean this outpost produces processed resources. That is, it will need you to provide it with a raw resource, raw, that it can process into a secondary resource. Now, we will need a fire or a smeltery and maybe small boxes, wood boxes to hold berries and other plant foods. Okay. Now the question is, do we include in the food outpost animals? Or do we distinguish between the two? That you will get a basically plant food outpost and meat food outpost, meaning the plant food outpost will make sure to gather berries and strawberries and everything like plant wise, and the other one will basically gather up animals. See, I'm leaning towards not putting that in and just having normal berries. And the idea is that you would basically have to. I want to make later foods available only later. So, hold on. Should I? So I want to make advanced foods like composite foods, basically like stews or berry bowls. I guess that's early, but like stews, other types of later foods, like maybe we can make like bread. Wheat. Yes. Yeah, we can make wheat. We can get wheat and we can make bread, right? We can make bread, but see now I want to add this in like processed foods. Bread, dough, pizza. Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, okay. I completely lost like my train of thought. Basically, we can have, oh, I want to add, I want to make basic foods available in the early game, and then later on you basically solve hunger by making sure that you always have like prepared full meals, like a stew or a like a sandwich or like something else, like yeah, ramen or whatever. So this one we will do a smelting cam. Can we process wood into other things? I don't know if we want to do that. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if we want to add like planks or plates, rods, and then the smelting camp can provide you with like an equal amount of those. Maybe something like that. Do we want to make it that like complicated? We'll keep it open if we do decide to add like that. Okay, so food. So it's a food processing camp that will basically make you like composite foods, given that you actually give them things that could be like made into something else. Okay. Right. Now, let's actually get to specializations. So the buffs I want to have is for wood. Yeah, so actually this this should go here instead. And I don't think that I want outposts to be able to produce very advanced things. I want those advanced things to go to your city. When you start building out your city, then you will be able to, from your smelting station or blacksmith or whatever, you will be able to uh or factory, I don't know, process like the more advanced things. So specializations can apply to outposts. Right, then we go to this share, copy our code, we go to outposts. Boom. Okay, right. From specializations, we need to make a little badges. I also, from this, something that we need to keep in mind for the outposts is I want you to be able to tell from the outside what its specialization is by, for instance, having blocks of wood or axes or something lying around or the bags or whatever. And then on the front, maybe we can have, yeah, some indication of what it is before you clear it, what the specialization is before you clear it with a tier indicator. For example, these badges. So it's just like maybe like a quality of life thing, you know, you don't gamble your life on clearing this encampment if it has maybe something, if it has something that you don't need. You should be able to know what it is before you go in, I think. Right. I feel like I just want to put this thing on. Yeah. Okay. A badge. Tier 1 badge. So the outside, I think, should, or maybe I have something in my head where maybe like the outside will have like a little, like an edge around it or something similar, but you can then be able, like, it will show tier 1 or tier 2 like on the actual badges. And then maybe on the inside it'll have a smaller icon showing whether it's wood, uh, whether it's a lumber camp. Actually, let me just do this because, you know, never mind, it's right there. Nice. Mining outpost icon, wood outpost icon. Smelting icon. Okay. So this is something that we should design as well. Um, right. Now, let's think about buildings. Buildings, let me see. Yeah, you see, this is like, I planned this like a long time, not a long time ago, but a while ago. I started with these. Buildings, I think, are specific, not pre-classed, but like a preset building that will be something. Like, for example, if there is a furnace and like some water source, it can be a blacksmith or something like this. Um, Sort of like how oxygen not included kind of classes their rooms. I want buildings to be a similar concept where you can create the building and then if you have it like walled in or whatever, and then have certain elements inside it, it will become that building, which will make it active as a blacksmith, for example, or whatever. So let's start off with just naming like buildings. Okay. So we will do um, a smeltery, blacksmith. Um, what do you call like a medical, like a small room, like a basically, I'm gonna say hospital, but we're gonna have like tiers to this, I think. Again, kind of similar, where if it has like just a small, like maybe like a basin and water and a bed and whatever, it can be like something smaller. And then as you grow it, it can become a hospital, which will enable more things as it goes like up. So we'll have a smeltery, we'll have a mole, a wood, a wood mole. Is it a wood mole? Mm. A factory in which logs are sawn into planks or boards by a machine. Interesting. So, but see, I don't think we want to do planks, logs. Maybe we'll keep it, but we'll like, add a question mark. Um, so we'll do lumber mill, smeltery, blacksmith hospital. I don't know what we call like a food processing thing. We'll get names for everything. I don't want to say a restaurant. I guess we'll just call it a restaurant or food processing. Okay. restaurant or food processing, smeltery. Um, yeah, smeltery, lumber mill, blacksmith, hospital, restaurant, research, um, storage room that could become a warehouse. Obviously a house is needed for people to live in it, for your NPCs and obviously for you. Um, yeah, I think we'll obviously add to this list. Okay. Right. Okay. I think I think that's it for these, more or less. Um, I think I would like to maybe start with at least designing a few of these things. I feel like it'll be a little bit more fun for me and also fun to watch. Um, yeah. So I think we should start with the donut, obviously. And then after the donut, we start with maybe like easier things. Maybe before we start the donut, we can just throw into this like anything we can think of, like um, yeah, we did say chair table, but again, like other things that we might encounter, and then we can start modeling to practice after the donut, like very basic things, and then see if we can find like whatever we need in terms of textures and things like that. I think that's probably the best idea at this time. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of it. So I think that's going to be it for this stream. It was rather short, but I do have a few things that I need to sort out. Um, yeah, some personal things. Um, yeah, I think so. That's going to be it. Please do check out our YouTube channel. We're gonna add like a lot of like all the progress that like these VODs are gonna go on YouTube straight after this. And then also we are gonna or I'm gonna edit down these videos into sections. So once we created like um or we finished a major section, for example, we finished like all the like development, sorry, we did like, for example, animals, structures, resources, major planning sections, and we're going to start with something. I will make a recap video about what we did or what we finished um, before going on to the next. Yeah, so I'll also do that on there. And then also, I did make a Discord. You can also, I think I did add it on the Twitch, so please like drop into the Discord, um, come say hi, and then yeah, I'm excited to see this like sort of grow and see how this project takes shape. I think it'll be super interesting. Um, I think I will be making like a massive list of design things that we can just dump everything into there with like a checklist. I think we can do that. Um, see, I want to add like, but this card, but I want like a list. So maybe we'll do like, I'll just do this for now and we'll see if we can make a checklist. Yeah, we can add a checklist. Oh, it's down here. That's fine. Yeah, so we can just make a massive checklist of like everything we need to model, like a chair, and then we can come and just, you know, I think that will be cool. So I will add this here, and then we can start checking them down. Yeah, like I said, I might start a little bit uh, easier, and then uh, we can go to the more advanced things, like for example, animals and the NPCs and your character and things like that. Um, yeah, I think I think that's it for this. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon. I'm gonna try to stream every day around 1 p.m. uh GMT +2. So yeah, I will be streaming or trying to stream at the same time, 1 p.m. Um basically every day. I will see. I'm gonna set up a better like planning, and I'll put the schedule on the Twitch as well. Um I'm just trying to figure out more or less how I can fit this into my like everyday routine, and then on like if I get a project, for example, how I can still maybe manage. Maybe when we're getting into the like modeling and things, it'll obviously be a bit longer, the streams and things like this. So maybe I can just try to keep it kind of short, and I can still work in like an hour or two or maybe three while I'm working on a project. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Um, yeah, but it's a learning curve. But anyway, thank you for joining, and yeah, I'll see you again soon.